Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Arsenal will be sending scouts to watch Victor Gyokeres during the preseason for Sporting Lisbon. The player is back from an injury and he scored a hat-trick in his first game against FC Firenze when he came back, and Sporting won that game by 3-0. Guys, he's come back from a surgery and he has scored a hat-trick. He is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal footballer. And in this video, I want us to have some real conversations around the Arsenal striker situation. Do we bring in Victor Gyokeres and sell any of these guys? Sell Gabriel Jeesus and Kai Havertz? Because with Edin Ketia, he's 100% not affected by this. We'll talk about him, but I don't think Edin Ketia is really affected by Victor Gyokeres coming in. So the two players that will be affected with Victor Gyokeres coming in will be Kai Havertz, who's currently Arsenal's main number 9, and also Gabriel Jesus, who's the backup number 9 in that position. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Victor Gyokeres wanted by Arsenal. We are going to scout him a little bit more to see how he actually holds up after that surgery, which was a knee surgery. It was a minor surgery, according to Fabrizio Romano. Took him a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks to get over, and now he's back and he's banging in hat-tricks. Is this our time to go and get Victor Gyokeres? Now, the first thing I want to say about this one is that I don't have a problem with Arsenal going out there and spending a little bit more time looking at Victor Gyokeres to see, after that injury, after that surgery, because knee surgeries are quite very difficult. Of course, we have Gabriel Jesus, who has been struggling with one, and this preseason has been very, very crucial because the player decided not to go for another surgery for the knee, injury, but to go with another procedure. And we believe that he's in a much better place, in a much better condition, because him as a player is saying, this is the season that I want to prove to Arsenal fans that I'm back, that I'm better, that I'm playing at the level that you guys saw me play when I had just come in at Arsenal in 2023, 22-23. So with Gyokeres, I think it's a deal that Arsenal can have some more time to offload some players. You can offload Edin Ketia in the meantime. We can also think about offloading Gabriel Jesus in the meantime as we prepare a deal for Victor Gyokeres. So it's not a deal that will happen early in July. Obviously, we are no longer early in July, but I don't think it's a deal that happens in July. I don't think it's a deal that happens early in August. It's one that might actually crawl into the 15th day of August, maybe 20th day of August, around there, and then we see are Sporting Lisbon willing to listen to a card for a card price? Are they also willing to sell now 100% and things like that? But at the moment, Arsenal will continue to watch the player. Arsenal will see how he's actually holding up in preseason after that injury that he picked up, and the knee surgery that he actually had a couple of weeks ago. Now, the uncomfortable conversations we're going to have on this video include selling Gabriel Jesus, dropping Kai Havertz, or selling Kai Havertz potentially, and also selling Edin Ketia. Let's start off with Kai Havertz. Now, for me, with Kai Havertz, we are not going to sell him. It's a no-brainer. There is no way Arsenal are going to sell Kai Havertz after signing him last summer for £65 million and making him one of the most highly paid players at the club. I didn't understand the salary. Maybe it was because he was already earning a big salary at Chelsea. Maybe Mikel Arteta looked at him as a long-term, important player. I didn't understand how Kai Havertz, who had an underwhelming time at Chelsea, comes in at Arsenal and straight away is one of the most paid players at Arsenal. I really didn't understand that. But I don't have a problem with Arsenal stretching their wage bill and being able to pay top players top money if they actually deserve it. So with Kai Havertz, for me, if Victor Gyokeres comes in, he's got to become one of two things. One, he either drops back into midfield and we could see Declan Rice, Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard work, or he drops to the bench, because For me, yes, Kai is good in terms of center forward play. He's very good in terms of pressing. He wins the ball back very well. He's a very aerial, oriented player, and he's a very, very physical player. But when you sign a player like Victor Gyokeres, the Victor Gyokeres signing for Arsenal would equate to Robin van Persie signing for Manchester United in the last season of Sir Alexander Chairman Ferguson when they won title number 20. That is the equation. I could say I could only equate it to that. I look at him as a Sergio Aguero kind of signing. I look at him as a Luis Suarez for Liverpool. I look at him as a Wayne Rooney player. I look at him as a player who definitely 100% transform Arsenal. Not only in the way we score goals, but also in the way we attack and the way we cut through teams. I think we need a striker like Victor Gyokeres just to enhance the creativity in that midfield. Say we get Mikel Merino, so you have Merino, you have Odegaard, you have Saka, and you have Martinelli as well. It would be much better. It would be much easier for us to score goals. It would be much difficult to stop as a team, and I think the forward line would be in a much better position. So for me, with Kai Havertz, it's very, very uncomfortable to have such conversations about him, but it's one of two. He either drops back in midfield, and I think that could happen. If Arsenal sign a striker, yes, Kai has not really worked out very well as a midfielder, but we might see him dropping back into midfield and playing that role of a granny jacker, a box crusher eventually. I don't see him drop, really. I don't see him drop out of the starting 11. Again, I want to be very realistic. I don't think Mikel Arteta will drop him. And I don't think Kai Havertz really deserves to be dropped as well. The amount of hard work is put in as a player to come from stage A to stage B, point A to point B in his career at Arsenal, you've got to reward that. You've got to absolutely be in love with that. And I'm in love with the way he works hard. I'm in love with the way he's not given up, despite the fact that the fan base turned against him. So with Kai Havertz, predominantly, you drop him into midfield, and then Victor Gyokeres comes in, Partey drops to the bench, Rice plays in the 6, and then life moves on. But what about the second guy? What about Gabriel Jesus? So with Gabriel Jesus, there is interest from Saudi Arabia. Al Ahly are making him a top priority target for them this summer. They're saying if Arsenal are willing to listen to good offers, then they'll be willing to offer a good offer to Arsenal for Gabriel Jesus. Now, we also understand that with Gabriel Jesus, right in March, around March, April, Arsenal were willing to listen to offers, according to James McNicholas from The Athletic. Arsenal were willing to listen to offers for Gabriel Jesus if a good offer came in. Now, he's a player that has had a weird time at Arsenal. His first year was fantastic. I think the beginning of his first year was fantastic. But I'm also going to say that overall, his first year at Arsenal was really fantastic. He's a player that came in with a little bit of, a difference in energy, powered a lot of, our players, gave us a lot of, attacking, options and dimensions, and it changed the way we viewed Arsenal as an attacking team. He was a revolutionary, a revolution to how Arsenal, attacked. So I'm not going to say he is a bad player. I think his talent is there. I think he's a very hard-working player, but there are factors that have hindered his progress at Arsenal so far. And the question is, do you give him another season and therefore don't sign Victor Gyokeres? Because for Gyokeres to come in, Gabriel Jesus is totally done. And before we also go further, I would love to say this, that Arsenal still view Gabriel Jesus as one of the best centre forwards in the world right now. Of course, it's a very, very bad statement from the club, but they still view him as a very, very, highly, potentially top 5 forwards in the world. That's how they view him inside Arsenal. So what happens with Gabriel Jesus? For me, this is what I'm going to say. Gabriel Jesus has spent 2 years at Arsenal. So it wouldn't really hurt, and we wouldn't have a problem if Arsenal really decided to keep him for another year, look at how he does in his third season at Arsenal, and then eventually move him on, right? For me, he's a player that either way, this summer, even if he stays, next summer he will go. If he leaves this summer, well and good. Eventually, he was going to leave anyway. So I don't see him as a player that Arsenal are going to have in the long term, in the long run. Not really. I think his position has slowly but surely been eaten up. If Arsenal are able to sign a winger to back up Saka, that means you have a Saka backup and Saka on the right, and then you have Trossard and Martinelli on the left. Then if you bring in a player like Gyokeres and Kai Havertz up top, Gabriel Jesus' time in the side is slowly but surely being eaten away. So what do we do with him? There are two sides to the coin here. The first side is that since he's such an important player for Mikel, he likes him, he signed him as manager, and he had a reason as to why he signed him. And maybe this is the season where Mikel Arteta thinks most of my signings are actually now going to come good. We're going to try to win the league. There is a lot of cohesion. There is a lot of understanding between players. There is a lot of patterns that players know about each other. You might keep Gabriel Jesus. So you might have Gabriel Jesus, Gyokeres, and Kai Havertz as your centre forward options, because rightly so, Edin Ketia is going to leave Arsenal this summer. With Havertz, Gyokeres, and Jesus as the striker options at Arsenal, I think that's much better, first and foremost, than Edin Ketia, Gabriel Jesus, and Kai Havertz. Because in that, you have Kai Havertz who can double as a midfielder and as an attacker as well. You have Gabriel Jesus who can play across the forward line, can play as a left winger, can play as a right winger as well. If Arsenal by any case or by any means don't sign a right winger, Gabriel Jesus is available. And then you have Victor Gyokeres, who is your traditional centre forward. You have that guy that you know can grab you that 1-0. You have that guy that you know can grab you a winner in the 90 minutes, in the 90th minute, a winner in the 100th minute. That guy, that would be Victor Gyokeres. So I would be happy if we have Gyokeres, Havertz, and Gabriel Jesus. But again, you can't keep all of them. You can't keep the three of them in the same team and they are happy. Unless Kai Havertz is going to permanently drop into midfield, something that I don't think is going to happen with the likes of Mikel Merino coming in. So I think Kai this season is the striker that becomes the backup striker if we get Victor Gyokeres. And that's what I would say, and that's what I would want. I would want Gyokeres to start every game, and then Kai Havertz to be either coming in from the bench or be that kind of guy that, you know, plays a specific kind of game. Maybe a game where Mikel Arteta thinks he needs more physicality. Maybe a game where Mikel Arteta feels he needs, more of midfielders, and Kai can double as a midfielder and a forward on the pitch. Maybe. But I would love to see Victor Gyokeres be the starter at Arsenal, and then a player like Kai Havertz being the backup. And the good thing with Kai for me is that according to his playing style, he doesn't need a lot of minutes to make an impact. He's not players like Gabriel Jesus. I think Jesus as well does great impacts when he comes off the bench. But with Kai Havertz, you know, his game is about running into spaces. His game is about making intelligent runs. He can come on for 20 minutes, make his intelligent runs, and score a goal. But what if we had to lose one? And of course, we have to lose one. When you look at that graphic there, you don't expect all of them to stay, even if it's just Kai Havertz, Gyokeres, and Jesus. So who stays, who leaves? Saudi Arabia want Jesus. Kai Havertz, you can't move him on. I think Gyokeres, because he's the new guy, you've got to give him something like 3 or 2 years, right? So for me, the argument would be Gabriel Jesus leaves. You get rid of Gabriel Jesus, probably not really get rid of, because get rid of feels like you're throwing him out of the door. But you get rid of him, or you sell him to Saudi Arabia, could be 50 million euros, 60 million euros, or even 70 million euros. I mean, Arsenal have always been open to listening to offers for such players who are not really in the squad. So I think the one that would go would be Gabriel Jesus, and then Kai Havertz would stay. And I know many Arsenal fans are not popular with this, but this is the reason why I think Kai is the one that stays and Jesus leaves. First, Jesus is now injury prone, and that is something that Arsenal have now got to work on with this squad. You have Gabriel Jesus is injury prone. You have Alexander Zinchenko is injury prone. You have Tomiyasu is injury prone. We can't keep on like this. And also Thomas Partey. I think you need more reliable players as you get into the tier of big boys, right? You're trying to win the league. You're trying to win the Champions League. You need all your eggs to be available in the basket. You need all your eggs to have a harder shell than some of our eggs right now. So for me, I'm gonna say Gabriel Jesus goes because he's a little bit injury prone now. And also, why I would see him as the one that leaves rather than the one that stays is he's the one you can sell. I mean, it happens, right? Market opportunities. We've been singing the same song this summer. Market opportunities, market opportunities, market opportunities. So for me, Gabriel Jesus is a market opportunity. We can sell him. There are clubs that are interested. There are destinations that maybe he would love to go to. He's Brazilian. They always move with the money. I won't be surprised to see him go for a move that can give him 300k. But honestly, guys, if Arsenal are looking to win the Premier League and the Champions League, like Mikel Arteta is saying, we've got to look into the striker situation. Gyokeres would 100% make us better. Good guy, strong striker, clinical guy, and reliable. That is one. Then Kai Havertz with his 15 goals a season, with his 16 goals a season. That's all right. You add 20 goals to Kai Havertz's 16. That's a very good season. I don't want anyone to tell me that Kai Havertz scored 16 last season and this one is going to score 30. No, he won't score 30. Again, you'll find him scoring around maybe 18, maybe 17, around there. So I would love to see a striker that is a guarantee of 20 goals plus. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and speak to you soon.